What's happening, y'all? Just want to make this video because it's just some facts right here. Talk about the rap industry, this music industry in general. Ooh, that's a bug. Damn, that's a bug. I was like, what the hell is that? Some motherfucking monster don't get off of my face. You know me, I'm like, get out of here, boy. You know what I'm saying? Move around. You know what I'm saying? You know, he probably a good spirit, though. He probably a good spirit because he came in right when I was about to speak some facts. But listen. So, anyways, people talking about the music industry and such, you know, and talking about, oh, you know, rappers do. Look, let me tell you something. If there's a yin and yang for everything, then sometimes we don't need to get too complex. Because the more complex we get, the more lost we get. We follow a route or a wave, you know, we will follow that wave, but the wave can still trace back to the same star. For example, if we were to look at the Earth and look at a longitude and latitude line, the line would go straight across. But relatively, there would be no such thing as straight because you're not going to walk in a straight line. You're going to have to go curve. There's going to be bumps and obstacles in that line. That's why it's a fucking wave. That's what people don't understand. It's a wave to get there. A wave. You know what I'm saying? So you do your thing, hope you come back around. If other people were on the same wave, or if they're always on the same wave, then they would always get the same karma. But they don't. They would experience the same fate. So how did that person experience the same fate? Or, excuse me, how doesn't that person experience the same fate? But they're all destined to the same path. No, they're rappers, right? They're all rappers. That doesn't mean they did the same things. Anybody could rap. Anybody can rhyme a word. That's what rapping is. Hello. So some people take things too serious. Basketball, it's basketball. You know what I mean? Percentages. You know, statistics are statistics. Keep everything for what it is. Not everybody has played the same game or did the same thing in the game. They may look like a similar player or affiliated to the same group based off attire. Remember, when you make your character, you could switch up the attire. That doesn't mean they're the same. That's just anybody can try to become a part of an energy. Because if you realize in the game, when you unlock certain places on the map or you unlock certain attires, you know, depending on what game you play, it's got different types of features. You know what I mean? That just becomes into you and it's a choice. And you see why it's a choice, because if you unlock all the attire, obviously you can go back to what you had in the beginning, correct? And that's why I'm not naming a specific game, because you know how many games that is. There's so many games you could think of, with the skins or the tones and the fucking shoes and everything that you unlock, you know, but you could always go back to the basics. So right now in the Aquarius age, you know, we're so logical. My generation, 99 babies, 2000 babies. We're so technologically advanced. It's easy. It's easy for us to get technical, and we gotta get technical, because if we get technical, then we'll go back to the heart. And if we go back to the heart, we'll understand what's relative. It's not gonna be a black or white. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be a gray area. You know what I mean? Because you could say it's any of these things. You know, just like brown. Most people is brown. They're not even black. So it don't even make no damn sense why people saying they black, because you have not seen anybody looking actually black. There's people who are super dark brown, and you could say they're the closest to black. But we sitting up here calling each other black people. But that's a different discussion. Right now, what I'm talking about is nobody's energy is exactly the same. It's not. It's not. And that's why when it comes down to the music industry, you can't say that all the music industry is taking lives. No. Don't blame it on an industry. No one made them get into the industry. Everything's a choice. You know what I mean? Anybody could just make a song. Anybody can make music. And there is industries. You can create your own industry. So if you're joining someone else's industry, someone else's idea, that's on you. Simple. You know, and that's why I'm fascinated and I'm excited to see that people are voicing their heart through the technological age, because that is our outlet. You know what I mean? We're trying to get back to the heart. You know, we're trying to technically get back to the heart. Back then, in the Leo age, in the heart time, we was trying to use our heart to get technical because how the waves had to play out, we had to get closer to technology because we didn't have it. We were just living and thriving in the golden age, knowing how to express love through the heart, passionately, you know what I'm saying, self-centeredly, and everybody was self-centered, and everybody was receiving a stage. Now everybody's receiving a stage for entertainment, a platform, but on a technological level. You see what I'm saying? Now you come, but that's why polar opposites are the same. It's like I'm a Taurus. Opposite of Taurus is Scorpio. Oppositions, but they get along. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is. Pisces, that's the 12th house, aka grandma, grandpa energy. So that's your grandma, grandpa energy, aka, you know what I'm saying? Just like in my life, you know, if you look at your 12th house, my 12th house is Leo. You know what I'm saying? Leo, my grandmother's a Leo, and then oh shoot, I got another. My other grandmother is Aquarius. My grandpa Aquarius. Bob Aquarius too. That's just another story though. I'm not talking about zodiacs in a minute. I'm just talking about how this opposite, you know. But look at your chart. Look at your chart. Look at your chart. And let me tell you something. That's your grandma, grandpa energy. You feel me? In your 12th house. Because that's mine. You know. But at the end of the day, what I want you to understand is you are the complete person that you make yourself to be. And I just feel bad because, you know, everything is sad. Everything comes with a wave, and everything comes with a soul and a spirit, you know. And what people wrap their souls into, that's 100% their business. And, you know, you can either love or hate it. And it's crazy because love and hate, you know, it's a polarity. It's polarities is opposites, and there's a line, a thin line in between. It's crazy to think that nowadays we just hop up on here and we can start talking about anything. You know, we just start talking about anything. Y'all know that. So I don't want to be that person to just talk about anything. You know, and when I say anything, I don't mean just anything. When I say anything, I mean people can get on here and talk about anything that they didn't fucking make. It has nothing to do with them at all. It might have some hints in it, you know, but it's crazy because the basics and the principles and things that people will do on a daily basis, that just applies to everybody. But see, what people forget, there's a yin and yang to that too. So that's why I like, it's like, it's all perspective. Everybody has an angel and everybody has a demon. It's all their perspective. And someone's gonna sit there and be like, well, that's not true. And be like, well, yes, it is true. It's just like if I'm a Giants fan, another person's a Dodger fan. You know, it's a sports world, that's gonna be a rivalry. It's an opposition. Two different perspectives. You know me? But there's a yin and yang aspect, but as long as you have the understanding, then it's all good. It's all good. That's why it's about balance at the end of the day. Balance, balance, balance. People could do as they please with the understanding of who they are. If that's what they attach themselves to. That's what you can't tell somebody not to attach themselves to that. What you can tell them is like, well, if you gonna be doing this with me, because we gonna do, because that's how you want it. Okay, then, that's on you. But you can't sit up there and be like, oh, these people are responsible. You know what? We could say this, and that about whatever, but it's on us to do what we gotta do. It could just be you making music because you really want to make music, but you gonna sit up there and tell people that a bunch of other people are responsible. It doesn't matter. If we get down to the critics, right? The critical points, the critics, you can check this out for yourself. Just think about it. Just check this out. Everybody has made their own fake image. That's why they say, oh, use your imagination to pass, you know. That's why they tell you close your eyes and imagine. Come on. If I read you some words and I tell you a story with my illustrative ass, then you gonna be having a whole bunch of illusions, aka drawings and pictures in your head, being like, oh, okay, let me tell you something. This is what I see in my head. And then some people who don't do that, they think you crazy. But you sitting up there talking about when I pray, or I talk to Jesus, or I talk to an ancestor, or it's just a different version of perception of it. Someone gonna sit up there and be like, oh, nah, you crazy. You know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, you tripping. I'm not gonna sit up here and bash nothing. I'm just saying that's what you do. But how can you go into the dream realm or you close your eyes, but you gonna sit up there and tell somebody else, nah, don't do that. But they're doing it on the way. That's what they seen when they go. See, now it's the same thing with these rappers. King Von down to Tupac. It ain't about someone being on someone's level. Depending on that person's vibe and what they talked about, how do you think he changed your life? See, what we have to understand is every person who listens to music, you learn something new for everybody. That's why you'll max out your time in a certain genre of music, sometimes in a frame, and when you listen to that music, it'll just be going back to that energetic standpoint of that time. That's why you'll actually want to listen to some people's music. Like, nigga, this nigga putting me on to something, or this female, this woman, she's putting me onto some power. There be some powerful women nowadays. Be some powerful women nowadays, bro. Come on, man. Y'all know this. Y'all know this. It's real deal. It's a beautiful time. I admire it. I truly do. I really do. But at the end of the day, that's why we have to focus on why are we put, you're talking about people want to put things out there, people want to critique so many things. Okay, we could point out the negatives all day, but let's point out the negatives in a positive way with the understanding that people need to exist in the space that they exist, where they truly belong. If you in a space where you truly belong and it's righteous, you know what I'm saying, a lot of trines and it's a lot of harmonious aspects. Once you get through the squares of oppositions, you will get led to the harmony. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta know where the harmony is. You know, because that's where people get mixed up in looks. You know, because energy's aligned. And, you know, that's why it's not about believing in something outside of yourself. Because when you incorporate that thing from inside outside of yourself, depending on how it relates to you, it's either gonna be harmonious or it's gonna be an opposition. So that's why it's so different. Everything plays out differently for everybody because their perception based off how they're raised, the elements. You see, if everybody has their own element, energies are created by other energies. A new form took place from this energy coming from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because if we do math, basically it's saying that the energy had to have already existed because the energy was either added on or subtracted upon to create the new energy somehow, some way. It's just, you know what I mean? Like multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. That's basically time. It gets so complex. So we look at division in the realms and, you know, multiplication of realms. It just would make sense that you could be either a descendant or a predecessor because it's all math. You just didn't know because it's just time has been playing itself. That's why astrological clocks are important versus regular clocks. Regular clocks, everything that you see today is man-made, and people can say a lot of things. It's just everything is man-made. It's a language. It's everything is someone else's idea. All you're doing when you're looking at if there's language, if there's 12 languages that 800,000 plus or more people speak. You know, at least a million people speaking a different language. Okay, so that's not even 1% of 7 billion, nigga. So imagine how many languages there truly is, nigga, that you really can't comprehend. So a realm of reality that you can't exist in, but you can exist in more realities once you exist with so many more people. And that's powerful. That's, bro, hold on. That's powerful. That's powerful. Because when you peep all the realms you created, because I think about it in astrology, and I'm going to point this out in astrology into the clock. 24 hours in a day, you know what I mean? 12 hours in a day, 12 hours a night, you know what I mean? 23 hours, 59 minutes, because once it, you know what I'm saying? Once it hits that last, it's about to, but I'm just saying, bro. Really, really grasp that. It's a different type of alignment for everything. Even in a sports game, you're playing 4 quarters. It's all divided up. Division, multiplication, percentage, get the season, then they advance to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? With different energy shine at different times. That's why we should all take a step back sometimes when it comes down to making these videos, just critiquing a bunch of people. Like these people who have passed on, they can't even defend themselves from what the fuck you're talking about. And now you have to deal with the modern day slangs and technologies and formats of ridicules. And then now you're getting put in a situation on the spot because, you know, you saying this about someone. It's like, bro, at the end of the day, they passed on. We can learn from it, but let people get their perspective, looking at the whole situation from what it was. You gonna sit up there and be like, it's the music. No, the people was doing what they did before music. Some people didn't find that out till after. They didn't find out they had a passion for music till later. They might have always had it, but they didn't find out that they would have the power to get it done. Because if they did know, they would have done it. That's the whole point. And that's why people do different things at different times. Because there's understanding behind it. So, with this whole message, it's just to point out, yeah, you can do anything you want to do. You know, you, you could you could play it out. You could try it. You could shoot for the sky, shoot for the stars. But what you're doing is going to come back on you. Simple. Simple. In a different way, shape, or form. Because energy cannot be created. No, sure, it comes in a different format. That's why people don't understand. They say, like, yeah, what goes around comes around. But it's like, it comes back in a different way. It really does. And I know it. And that's why I urge everybody, like, remain balanced. Because as long as you remain balanced, like, you know what it is that you want, but you also know it needs to be done. So it's like, damn, bro, like, but everything you want, it's always gonna be there, dog. Music will always be here. So how are you gonna blend? How you can't blame that on an industry or nor a group of influence. You can't blame it on anybody. You can only blame it on yourself. It's just like any group of people or individuals that you don't want to be around or a situation. That is on you. You control that. And I'll tell you like this nowadays. Look, I learned something. Watch out nowadays. You gotta watch out for falsification. Just be around the people who love you and genuinely just understand the basics of life. You guys will thrive together. Don't be reaching out here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be reaching. They reaching. Just keep it lit for yourself, man. Because other people who keep it lit for themselves, they understand the basic principles of life. And when we all come together, it's like it's lit. It's actually lit. So watch out for the people who act like it's a problem to be lit. Like for real. Watch out for that. And people just so happen to have yin and yang aspects to being lit. Some person might have a lot more fire in their chart and be really lit all the time. That they gonna put out every fire. Why no water can put them out? They gonna burn up the earth. They gonna look them all. Like there's some things that you didn't come from their realm. You don't got the information that they got, so you can't understand why they doing what they doing. All you can do is learn from it. Simple. Simple. Well, I mean, I wish I could say it was that simple. I'm only fucking 22 years old. And I'm excited to see the world around me because everything is through people, bro. No matter what, everything is through people. Without people, we wouldn't have nothing. And people is just a word for everything that we see and something that we think that looks like us. A person ain't gonna help you. Your people will help you. And that's why a random person who helps you becomes your people. You're like, what the hell? It's in a form that you believed it was help. You know, it's not always in the ways other people think it's help. You know, and look, find the beauty in all your situations. You know, and the problem is like I just don't understand why people are so caught up in some thoughts and ideas still. Like we didn't create that. You know, some people may have in their past life or something like, or just the energy may resonate. But it's like at the end of the day, just do what you gotta do because you know right from wrong. And if everybody knows karma is real and people talk about knowledge versus wisdom, well, all I know is wisdom. Wisdom is Pisces. That's 12. You know, knowledge. You know, ninth house is good, but hey, if you're trying to make it higher, you know, you gotta go to 12th. You know, and I think it's crazy to think. It's like a chapter. It's like a chapter book in life. You go through your own chapters at your own rate, and that's what I mean. It's just an aspect to think, you know, that personally, you know, your personal journey, you know, everybody's personal journey is interesting, you know, and that's what I'm saying. Don't be so skeptical on doing what you want to do. Like make music, bro. Like that, be lit. You know, don't be ashamed of being yourself. Let the opportunities come. You know, some things are all about putting yourself out there and then receiving it. That's the simplest way I can put that. Like it's gonna happen. Like, but when it happens, it just might happen in a way you just didn't expect it. And usually I'm like always talking hella fast. But like that's why right now I'm just like I'm just being slow because I want y'all to really think about this shit, dog. I see people doing a bunch of things. They place people in categories because this and that, or they gotta have this because of these reasons. Well, you can say that, but what do these things really mean? What I'm saying is, yeah, you can have whatever you want, but really, we're only gonna be judging people right by their character. That's it. I don't care about what you got. You know, you can be rich or poor. That's why people can play on the yin and yang aspect in that realm when it comes down to money. Money will never define your character. Your character will use the money to build other people's character. And if I can use money in my own definition, I would just use it as spiritual coins. You know, a spiritual bank that you donate to your records. You know, it's like a record that's kept on you. You could say like how the government does, but it's a personal file that only you know. You know, because it's like a record of like truthfully feeling good, not faking feeling good. You know what I mean? This world is this world. As long as you doing what you gotta do, it's gonna take care of itself, man. And that's what I do understand. I just don't step out of that. They don't want to see nobody stepping out of their realm. But I understand the main thing, staying in your realm so you can show other people you don't have, you know, that's why You gotta be you, and it'll allow other people to be themselves. Cause they usually be like, damn, like, oh, he's doing it, and you know, I could do it. Simple as that. But yeah, man, if you make music, keep making music, bro. Like, it's not the music industry. It's not nobody in particular. Like, you do what you do based off your beliefs and understanding, and everything happens for a reason based off of what you thought, what you believed in. So, yeah, just keep it lit, y'all.